I really love the thrill of the hunt book thrifting, and I really like making top so-and-so videos. What's up, beasties? It's me, it's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to the channel. I am so glad you are here. This is gonna be a fun one. I wanted to do a lot of thrift store book hunting content. Look for some vlogs, come shopping with me, challenges, all to come. But to start off, I really thought it'd be fun to do a top 15 greatest finds at thrift stores when book thrifting, or book hunting as I like to call it. Nothing beats going to a thrift store and finding some sweet books for like $1. Just love it. So, without further ado, what you came here for, here is my top 15 thrift store finds. I do have one honorable mention, only because this book probably means nothing to anyone except for me. Quick backstory, I maybe talked about a little in my welcome video, but about 13 years ago, my mom passed away from cancer. Me and my mom were very close. When I do a bookshelf tour coming up soon, also, I will talk about. I have a little spot on my bookshelf where there's a picture of me and my mom when I was a baby, and I have a book, the Dresden Files short story collection, Side Job, and that was the last book she had purchased, the last book she was reading when she passed, and I have her bookmark on the page she was on displayed. And now I found something in a thrift store that I can also add to that section, very special to me. This book came out in 1995, and my mom used to take me to the comic book store, and I'd buy comic books, and she'd take me to the grocery store, the Kroger, or sometimes the bookstore in the mall, and I can't remember, or Kmart. I think I got this at Kmart, but I would always look for books even then. But I remember we went to Kmart, and I saw the cover of this book, and I bought it, and I read it. I remember nothing that happened in the book, but I just remember loving the cover, and I remember buying that with my mom when I was a kid. And I always have thought about that book because I misplaced it through the years. Who knows whatever happened to it. But I've always remembered that book in my mind and thought, man, I wish I could remember what that was called. I even remember trying to like Google explaining what the cover was, and I could never find it. And then I was thrifting, and I saw the spine, and I thought, that looks familiar. Pulled it out and looked at it. Boom. It was the book, Demon Sword by Ken Hood. So yeah, it's got this sweet green raised font, and that was the spine I saw. But it's actually about the outlaw Long Dirk. That's like his alter ego or something. But yeah, this book sounds pretty cool and looks cool. So probably just fun, classic trash fantasy. I don't know, but it means a lot to me, and it's the first book in this series to look up and see if there's more. And yeah, definitely have to get this on a TBR soon. But this is an honorable mention just because it means so much to me, but probably no one knows of this book other than me. So yeah, that was an honorable mention. All right, so here we go. Number 15. Now these first few are kind of like a category. You'll understand when I get to them instead of just one book. So number 15 is me slowly trying to find all the books of Wheel of Time in paperback with those sweet old covers, and I've actually been able to find quite a few. I found the prequel in a nice, great edition hardback. New Spring. Great shape. Oh, what? I've never opened this. I just opened it and there's a map inside. Man, you gotta love thrift stores, dude. Look at that. Oh, I think somebody printed these off. That's still pretty sweet. Maybe not. Maybe this came with it. I don't know. They probably printed it. I don't know. But that's pretty sweet. Just opened it up and it fell out. But yeah, so New Spring. That's sweet map end papers too. Then I've got Eye of the World, of course, number 1. Number 2, Dragon Reborn. Not found the Great Hunt yet. But then I've got book 5, Fires of Heaven. And then a big jump, book 10, Crossroads of Twilight. And book 14, I think. No, book 11, Knife of Dreams. So I'm always on the hunt for those, gonna keep doing it, but that was pretty cool that I've been able to get a few of them through the years at thrift store. So number 15, Wheel of Time collection, still growing. Number 14 is single, well, let's see, what do I want to do? Yeah, single books that I found that were ones that I heard about on Booktube, and then I go to the thrift store, and there they are. So here's some examples. Frederick Bachman books, Anxious People, and A Man Called Ove, both which I want to read. Anxious People sounds really good too. I did not know until I really found this and read the back. I thought, when I saw the cover, I thought it was like a romance between these two people, but I thought maybe they were had some social anxiety or something. But it's actually about people in a bank that's getting held up and how they interact, and the whole story of during this time of being held up and how they come together and help the person holding them up. So that sounds pretty good. But anyway, another example is this book I've seen talked about. This is more literary fiction, but Infinite Jest. I mean, I love these big chunker brick paperweight paperbacks, but Infinite Jest is supposed to be really good. Very deep, dense. Takes place in a halfway house and a tennis camp or school or something. But that was cool to see after I'd heard about it on Booktube. Oh yeah, this was actually a cool one. Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. The Rivers of London series, book 1, series I've always wanted to get in, long one, and kept being like, oh, I should buy the first one, shouldn't I? And then I go to a thrift store and this paperback's there that's in great, awesome condition. I love that. I love when I want to get a book and I'm trying to decide if I should, and then I go in and there it is. So, and yeah, this is a great edition. Really cool. What's in the front here? I don't know what that means. Alright, and then also another example, Bear and the Nightingale. That was a cool one I found. This one I was pretty hyped when I saw this. Right after I had seen a lot of booktubers talking about this book, I went into the store and found it. Swan Song. Always wanted to read that one. Also had the first Speaks the Nightbird by Robert McCammon. Want to get into that series. Also Sue, Matthew Corbett. But never read this one. Definitely want to. And now I have it. This cool edition of The Bone Collector. I had some old beat up paperbacks of this series, which is a really cool one. Like I said, I love mystery detective ones, especially when the character has something different. And, he's disabled in a wheelchair, the main character in this, Lincoln Rhyme. But this was a beautiful edition. I loved this cover, and when I saw it, I was like, yes. Yeah, let's put that right there. Then this is a book I've always wanted to read too. Saw it in the thrift store, had to grab it. I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. Very cool. Definitely want to read that one. This one I just found not too long ago in one of my thrift shorts. But a really nice hardcover of Legion by Brandon Sanderson. Slowly collecting all his books. So that was an awesome find. I keep checking some of these that I haven't looked in yet now that mat fell out, just to see if there's something in them or they're signed or something like that. You never know. But yeah, so that was number 14. Just some books where I wanted them, and then you walk in and they're there. So that was pretty cool. Number 13, some classic books. Coolest one I found was Hyperion. Really wanted this one. Been wanting to get it, and I found this great edition, and it was in the quarter section, so only a quarter for this bad boy. That was awesome. This really cool edition of Gone with the Wind. Cool illustration on the front. It's got red sprayed edges from way back. Win. That is cool. I've always wanted to read this one, and Mike from Mike Books Book Reviews says this one's awesome, so check that one out eventually. And then some classic fantasy like Rune Lords, first book of that one by David Farland. This is in great shape. I love these classic illustrated book covers. I love finding those when I'm thrifting. And this was cool. I found in the quarter section a bunch of David Eddings all in great shape. The first 2 books of the Bellegarde series, which is supposed to be pretty good. And then, let's see, I think through all 3 books of his Illuminae trilogy, and the first 2 books of the Tamale trilogy. Pretty cool stuff. So yes, finding classic books, I love that. And these are all in great shape. So that was cool. Fine, 15, 14, 13. Number 12. Number 12 is series that I found, like a complete trilogy or series. And 3 examples of that, which I really was excited about, were The Stain by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. These cool looking books. I think these are like they're cool images, but then it is like the FX original series ones, but still, they look cool together. And this is a series I've always wanted to read, so that was awesome to find. Run out of room. Ooh, don't want to block my light. Alright, and then the other one was The Passage by Justin Cronin. I wish I could have found The Passage in hardcover, but I found this in paperback, which is cool. And then these 2, The City of Mirrors and The 12, and these really nice hardbacks. I mean, it's an eye of the whole set. Not all hardback, but yes, I prefer to have matching sets of things, but I think there's something, what's the word? Like, not cozy. Dang it. Not rustic. I don't know. Someone's going to think of it and tell me in the comments, but just that nice, there's something I just love about mismatched and stuff, especially when I know they're from the thrift store. And the other series I always wanted to get into and heard a lot about was the Hit and Run, the Hitman series by Lawrence Block. Found all 3 of those, and they're really cool covers. That's the first one, second one, third one. Number 11 was good old George R.R. Martin stuff. So I had a paperback set of Game of Thrones, mass market paperback set, and then eventually I bought special illustrated editions of the first 3 books, and then at the thrift store I found great hardback copies of Feast of Crows and Dance with Dragons, and these are gorgeous, so they look great next to my illustrated editions. And then the other one I found that was cool was Fever Dream. It's a mass market, but it's in great shape. And I didn't even know he wrote a vampire book. So this one I'm going to try to get on the TBR for spooky season, for Halloween time this year, because I definitely want to read that one. So those were some cool Georgie finds. Alright, and now I think that gets us to our top 10 or 11. Let me see. Top 10. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Top 10 best thrift store finds. Number 10. These gorgeous hardbacks of this series. I think it's called Welcome to Night Vale. And the first book, Welcome to Night Vale. Second book, It Devours. It Devours has the purple on the spine and purple sprayed edges. And these cool end paper. And then Welcome to Night Vale also does. These are books that I had never even heard of until I found these. And then now I want to check them out. They're by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. They had like a podcast. And then the podcast was Welcome to Night Vale. And I don't know if they told stories on it and then used them to make these books. I gotta look it up more, but if anybody knows anything, let me know. But these were awesome. Very cool find. Very, and of course it's like horror, sci-fi, fantasy. Fits right in with what I like. So that was cool. Number 10. Number 9. This is a polarizing book, but it was so cool to find it because I've always wanted to check it out, but didn't really want to buy it for full price. And I found this great paperback edition in wonderful shape. The House of Leaves by Mark Danilewski. Yeah, this is like a famous horror novel. It's written interestingly, like from the perspective of a person like investigating the house and like they're writing like their articles and notes, and just all these different ways. It's like a mismatch of ways to read through the story, and that just seems cool to me. So I'm excited to just kind of read through this a little bit. But yeah, this is like the remastered edition, and it's got really some cool art, like pictures in it. And yeah, I'm excited to read this one. This is another one I want to do around spooky season. Yeah, it's so cool. And I want to learn more about this book. But look for that one closer to Halloween. All right, number 8. I always wanted to read the trilogy, the Circle Trilogy by Ted Dekker. This is his like sci-fi fantasy series that's supposed to be pretty good. And I always thought about maybe getting the first book because I do like the paperbacks, how they're all red, black, green. Or is it red, black, and green? For sure black and green. White? I don't know. But those are pretty. But then I saw they had this omnibus that had black, red, white, and green. So yeah, I was right. It was all of them. And it just looked so cool. And then I wanted to get it, but I walk into the thrift store and it's there. And look at this thing. It's gorgeous. And it's a beast. It's a lot of pages. How many pages is this thing? It's like a Stephen King book. But 1,600 pages. That is 4 books. But yeah, it's in great shape. So the Circle, that's cool. Number 7 is signed books. Yes. So this first one I'd never heard of, but it was just a cool cover. Scott Turo's The Suspect, and I actually read about it. It sounds pretty cool. And yeah, there it is, signed by the author. Has this cool dust jacket that I think just looks awesome. It's in great shape, signed, can't beat that. Another one I had signed was by Craig Johnson, the Longmire series, which is cool. I only have the first couple books of that, but thought I really liked those, and I liked the show. So it was really cool to find a book signed by him at the library, at the thrift store. And then probably, well, my second favorite signed one I found at a thrift store is The Border by Don Winslow from the Border Trilogy. Haven't read that yet, or his City on Fire series, but want to read both. It's so cool to find this hardback in great shape and signed. Like, what? So that is number 7, some signed books. I probably have some more. I'll have to see if I can find them for the next time I do this. I'll try to do this once a year to see what changes. But now number 6 builds off of that. It's a combination of signed plus books that I'm looking for. A long time ago, I rented a book from the library, called The Second Life of Nick Mason by Steve Hamilton, and it was really cool. It's about this guy that gets out of prison trying to get his life back, but somebody in the prison that like helped him get out like collects a debt and wants him to like kill somebody, and he becomes kind of like this hitman, and it's pretty sweet. But I was always kind of looking for it at the thrift store or thinking about buying it, and then I find it one day, see the sweet spine, I pull it out, boom, autographed copy. What? I was looking for this book. Not only do I find it, but I find it signed. What? Get out of here. That's sweet. And then a couple weeks later, I find the sequel, Exit Strategy. Haven't even read that one yet. So that was a really cool find. I was super pumped when I found those. All right. We're getting to the heavy hitters now. Top 5 thrift store finds. Here we go. Number 5. I found 2 things for this one. First, the 25th anniversary edition of Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Gorgeous edition, in great shape. Has a little sticker on there, but just a really nice edition. Looks really good. And then just last month, I found the sequel, World Without End. What? And they go so nice together. That was a sweet find. I mean, you just can't beat this stuff. It's awesome. That was number 5. Number 4. I think number 4 is this bad boy right here. This is the Southern Reach Trilogy Omnibus by Jeff Vandermeer. This is a book, or a series that I really have been wanting to get into. So when I was in the thrift store and saw this sweet edition, I'm like, what? That's awesome. I mean, this thing is so cool. It's got all the books in it, of course. And it's got these cool illustrations at the start of each book. That's Annihilation. Let me see if I can find the other ones. I don't want to hold up the show here too much. Come on. Dang it. If I don't... Oh yeah, there's another one. There should be one more. Sorry. I just want you to see all of them since I mentioned them. Wait. Is that it? Nope. That's just a... Maybe that's it. There's gotta be one more. Hold on. Oh yeah, there it is. So just a really cool edition, and in such good shape. Like, just beautiful. I was so excited when I saw it. So that was a really cool find. That was number 4. Number 3, this was perfect timing. I had just gotten Empire of the Vampire, loved it, and then I went to the thrift store and found these sweet books, all 3 books in the trilogy of the Illuminae files, and they're in such good shape, and these books are so cool. Like, if you've never seen these, I'll just show you an example. So Illuminae looks cool, right? Well, you take off this dust jacket, and underneath you've got all these cool like notes and stuff on there. And when you put on the dust jacket, it looks so cool through there. And they've got nice end papers. And this whole story is a sci-fi story, and it's all told through emails, journal entries, reports, and it's just so cool. It tells us the story of a war and in space and battles and mysteries, and I haven't read it yet, but it's definitely gonna be read because I love J. Kristoff, and this one definitely want to get to. Awesome stuff. Now my top 2. This was a toss-up. Both of these were really cool, and it was hard for me to decide. It's almost like 1A and 1B. But number 2 was this awesome edition set of Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which has, of course, Dead Man's Walk, Comanche Moon, Lonesome Dove, and Streets of Laredo. And they look so cool together. I do love that. I think they're white covers. Those all look awesome together. But I mean, for $1 a pop, you can't beat $4 for this sweet set. Definitely gonna be reading from this, so I'm excited about that. That was an awesome find. I could not believe it. And my number 1 coolest find at thrift store so far has been this awesome special edition, the illustrated Sherlock Holmes Treasury. This is red velvet, the actual book, and it has gold sprayed edges. Has really cool like end papers, Victorian looking. It's got just the original illustrations all throughout. Like, I love this thing. I just read a story here and there out of it every once in a while. Ooh, famous one right there. And I love me some Sherlock Holmes. Loved it as a kid. Loved every movie and TV show that's come out. Yeah, this thing was an awesome find and is, as of now, my favorite and awesomest thrift store find so far. And there you go. That's my top 15 thrift store finds so far. We'll see if any of them change next time I do it. But thank you so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any of these, what you thought of them. Let me know what some of your favorite finds in a thrift store are. Look forward to a lot more thrift bookish content coming soon. And until I see you in the next video, devour those TBRs. Be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see ya.